Do you forgive her?
Of course.
Does $200,000 in your bank account make it way easier to forgive?
Yeah. Yeah, that is helpful.
Welcome to the official House of Villains podcast. I'm your host, Tyson Apostol. Today, we're digging into the incredible season finale, which you obviously don't want spoiled, so watch it first and come back, because we have two guests. The ultimate gangster, Season 3 House of Villains winner, Dita. But up next, an icon, a beauty, and it turns out, a supervillain at the last second, Christine Quinn. We have one of the finalists of House of Villains with us from Selling Sunset, Christine Quinn. Christine, when you came into the house and we got our phones that night, I called my friend who watches Selling Sunset. I was like, Christine Quinn's here. And they were like, ooh, you're in for it. She is going to light you on fire verbally. Tread carefully.
Oh, my gosh.
She is going to annihilate you if you cross her. And I was horrified. But a few days went on. You lit me on fire once early.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my general experience. Was your character on Selling Sunset different from House of Villains?
Well, I think it was a very different show. So you have to understand it was an ensemble show. It's very scripted in the fact that we know exactly what we're doing. We don't have hidden cameras. You know, we know what the scene is ahead of time. In House of Villains, we're constantly, thrown, all new challenges and activities, and stuff is changing so quickly, right? I do my best to maintain composure. It doesn't always happen though, and sometimes I just pop off, but I try not to. I really try not to, especially these days.
So have you changed, or are you the person we see on House of Villains or the person we see on Selling Sunset?
I think in terms of House of Villains, that's what I loved about it. It was my real, authentic character. Like, I loved that we were able to wake up in the morning and tell silly jokes and just be ourselves and riff, right? So I would say HOV is definitely more like me and my personality for sure. Because also, I'm not popping off and having arguments all the time. When we shot Selling Sunset, we shoot for, 4 months at a time for one season. So it's like, you're only seeing a few arguments over 4 months, right? So, yeah, it's just different.
So in your real life, would you classify yourself as a villain?
I don't think so. That's the thing.
I didn't really experience that. That wasn't my
Yeah.
experience with you on the show. I think initially you were like, I'm supposed to be a villain, so I will. And then when you kind of felt like everybody's being just like who they are, I
Yeah.
think you settled into a
Yeah.
totally different person
Yeah.
than what I was expecting you to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely got, thrown into the villain role, right? And there's sometimes I do have to roll with it. But naturally, I am pretty calm. It takes a lot to really push me. And I also when I love really strong. When I have relationships, I have really strong relationships. And that's why I did have a hard time in the show because, it was hard having to navigate the challenge of the game and what's good for strategy versus, that was really difficult for me. That was a new concept that
Yeah.
I'd never experienced before. So it was tough. It
No, I
was.
think your first time doing something like this, like you feel going into it like I'm going to be able
Yeah.
to stab people in the back, but then you don't really imagine those personal connections happening.
Yeah.
And then when they do happen, you're like, can I stab that
Yeah.
person in the
I
back?
know.
And once you get yourself stabbed in the back a few times, it becomes way easier to
Yeah.
stab others in the back.
Good to know.
Yeah. So your next,
Spoken from a true pro over
that's
here.
right. The first time I was like, I don't think I can, I want to, but I don't think I can. And then I
Yeah.
get stabbed. I was like, okay, I think I get how
I
this
get
works
it.
now.
I get it. Yeah.
I have two questions that watching the whole season back, did you understand what was going on in the house and the strategy of it all? Because there were moments where I was like, I think she's playing all of us. And there were moments where I was like, I don't think she gets it. I don't know which it is, and I don't know when or what or how.
I understood the strategy.
Okay.
Um, I understood the issue is you have to take two things into account, right? You have to understand the strategy, you have to understand the people, and you have to understand the patterns in which, they want to default to, right? And
everybody's different.
yeah, and everybody's default mode is different. Like, I think of everything in computer systems, basically, right? So Um, I'm building like a prediction model on everyone to the best of my ability of what I know. However, the variables, I don't know every variable. I didn't know the hidden relationships between, Johnny and Drita and Paul and how deep they went,
Right.
right? And so when I watched the season back, I'm like, oh, I never had a chance. Like I never had a chance. I never had a chance. So me and Drita's whole relationship was built on House of Cards. It was all a facade because they had an alliance prior, right? So there's all these dynamics that I don't know at play. So I'm just doing the best of my ability to, determine the best outcome based on the variables that I know
Right.
and can predict.
So with those pre-existing, like you're saying, those formed before you could get into that
Yeah.
same relationship, is it in your opinion weaker to arrive in that relationship later? Because I think had there been a moment where you came to Tom and I and were like, I'm with you guys 100%, ride or die, let's figure it out. Like that's a real conversation. Now
Yeah.
I'm like and open to keeping you as tight with me as I did with Tom. Is that
Yeah.
something that, because when I'm watching it, I'm like, you were really tight with Drita. I think even though you're saying Drita had these connections that were formed before she formed that tightness with you,
Right.
I think ultimately she was tighter with you than she was with Paul.
Here's what I think it really comes down to, right? It was we were playing a proximity game, right? So we had the orange side and we had the blue side.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. Even if me, you, and Tom got together and we were like, hey, let's do this. Logistically, it would be difficult. Like us sneaking out, trying to meet each other. It would be hard. It's just naturally being on that side of the house.
Right.
That's who you're with and that's who, you're gonna be closer with. But I agree, had I came out first and been like, let's build, I didn't want to do that though. I've seen that, I've seen that go wrong. I didn't want to promise anyone anything because I could be like, whoopsie doopsie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you're saying, but you just never know who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. And, Plain and I had an alliance and then I realized like, oh, we didn't, and Paul and this and that. So like you can try, but it's changing constantly, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it is. I do agree with that proximity thing because it's hard to walk over to the other side of the house
Right?
without everyone seeing you walk
Yeah,
over.
you get it.
Next question. Setting spray.
I have a lot going on in my personal life that makes me want to cry like 24/7. I'm thinking of my divorce, my son, my whole life falling apart. Like anything in my there?
You're getting watery, but there's no tears.
Motherfucker, the setting spray. I have this setting spray, so your makeup's literally waterproof.
You're doing good, Christine. Just cry.
My theory, I've never
How
worn setting spray.
embarrassing. How
I've never worn
embarrassing.
it. But it doesn't clog your tear ducts.
No,
in
but
my
it's
opinion.
waterproof. It's waterproof.
So shouldn't the tear fall
No,
faster?
the issue I was having was that's why it was all smeared everywhere because it's waterproof. So it makes it so
So it
doesn't.
absorbs or what?
So I had to have the tear roll past a certain line on my
Right.
face. It wasn't rolling. It was just staying in this area and it wasn't moving down the skin. I was like,
Why were you putting the coat over your head?
I was method acting,
Okay.
I was Meisner trained, baby. I'm method acting.
So what would I have seen had the jacket not been there?
Oh, it was just me getting
Just
into
you
my
getting in
emotions.
character?
Yeah, getting into character.
Did you not
Yeah.
want, was it easier to do without people, like why the jacket?
The stuff I dredge up is really, really, it would take me to a dark place,
Okay.
right? So I think it was just easier. It's easier to imagine, right? It was hard when people were like pounding on the walls and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
I think it was
stuff's
just like
going on.
easier for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
So you're blocking out the outside noise
Yeah,
to
I think it was like so
focus.
noisy and like, yeah, it was a lot going on.
Okay. Let's get into gameplay.
Yeah.
The finale.
Mm-hmm.
The rise and fall of supervillain Christine Quinn.
It was never going to be a rise from day one. No, I'm going to tell you something. From day one,
Yeah.
Ashley came into my room and she said, as soon as she walked in the door, you already lost the game.
She said that to you?
About Drita. She's like, you are never going to win over Drita.
Everyone kept telling people
And
that.
I said, I know. I said, I know that. And then as soon as I saw the first person that left and she voted for them, I said, I'm done. My only chance I had was to do what I did, hoping that, I knew there was a chance she would probably win and I wanted her to win, right? But yeah, it's just there was nothing I could have done really about that situation, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody had taken care of Drita earlier, then it wouldn't have been a thing.
Well, that's the thing. And I made it very clear, like, you know, why hasn't anyone put her up? Why has no one put her up? What? Even as a pawn, I got put up twice.
Yeah.
Like, what? I got put up left and right.
Right. Let's get into the finale, the battle royale, screwed over. You were incredible. You were incredible at holding that screw. We actually have a clip
Oh, God.
of you showing off, making it look easy.
Oh shit, Christine's foot is slipping!
No, she stuck it out in deep back
Oh
lane.
my god! Yes, Christine! She's on phase! She's on phase!
Where did you get those talents?
You know, maybe the bedroom, maybe Pilates. Who knows? A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pilates in the bedroom,
Yeah.
not ballet.
No, that too.
That too?
Dance, ballet, and
Classically
jazz also.
trained. Yeah,
classically
okay.
trained dancer.
Good. And was that easy or difficult?
It was extremely difficult. It was, by the end, my body was completely jello. It was so difficult. But I heard Johnny's voice just like his nails on a chalkboard. So he had shouted something to me. And so I was like, fuck this motherfucker. I'm like, if I fall and do this, I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I can do it. And I did it.
Okay.
But it
so
was fucking Johnny's voice that was like, fuck you.
despite Johnny,
Yeah.
you won that last challenge.
Yeah.
So Drita falls. You know you've won. You fall. Drita, fully exhausted, crawls over to you and hugs and says, we did this. We won. We have the clip here.
Are we done?
You won! You won! Christine won! Don't step on Drita!
I'm not happy I didn't win, but I couldn't be happier that she did. Me and Christine had our issues, but she put Tyson up, so I know she has my back. We're in the final three. I know. So I'm looking at Christine like we made it. We're going to the end.
In that moment, in that hug, were you planning on taking Drita to the
Yeah.
end? Was like she your ride or die?
Mm-hmm. I was planning on taking Drita right up until Paul came in my room and
Okay.
started talking with me. And right before I basically walked into the banishment, I was like, I am going to lose this competition either way to Drita. When it comes to votes, she's going to win no matter what. I would be the stupidest person alive if I didn't do this. And it's going to look cunty and people in the house are going to hate me. But I had to even out my odds. I had to do that. And it sucked. But in that moment, like I was like, yes, absolutely, yes. Like, yeah, you know, right up until we walked in and I had to pick her. And it was awful. And it was hard. It was really hard to do. It was.
Well, we get to the hit list nomination and you pull perhaps the most villainous move of the season. You nominate Drita.
Yeah.
And I think she reacted pretty good. We have her reaction here right now.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
My third nomination is the hardest one yet. I'm having to make a decision that's really hard for me. I'm not a gamer, I'm not a strategizer, I'm not a competitor. And this is the first time I have to think of myself for once, and I don't do that often. I know this person can win the competition. I know how this person competes. And for that reason, Drita, please,
Oh my God.
I am nominating you because I know you can win the challenge.
That's some scandalous
No,
shit.
Drita.
I respect Christine. That's a villainous move.
From the beginning, you know, I told her we'll take it to the end, but I guess me
No,
being
please.
loved made
Please.
you scared. Everyone loves me because I kept my word.
Drita,
Now I'm talking.
Why do you think it was so hard in a game where you're supposed to stab people in the back and supposed to
Yeah.
lie and supposed to cheat? Why was it so hard for you to pull that move on Drita?
Because it's the last person in the house I wanted to do it to, because her and I were so close, I did have very real moments with her where we were crying together and holding each other, and I was like, I'm taking you with me. I'm taking you with
Yeah.
me,
That
And
doesn't
that
make it better.
well, that's the thing, but that was all that was all genuine,
Right.
that's how I felt. I was like, "Oh my God, yes," right? And then I was like, "Christine, use your fucking head. Use your fucking head." And I had to. I'm like, I'm gonna look like, I had to.
Ultimately, you did make the right move. I believe
Yeah.
strategically, it might have been a little late. The timing was off. Somebody else probably should have done it
Yeah.
earlier, but
Mhm.
you putting up Drita in that moment was the correct move.
Yeah.
But you made one incorrect move, and that was talking to Drita in a closed car.
Drita, I do want you to know that I do want to talk. It doesn't, not right now, but I want you to know that I do want to talk to you and have a conversation.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah. We had that talk, remember, when you were crying and hugging me and I'm not going to pick you, and I said, oh,
Yes.
thank God. Yeah, we had the talk. I got a challenge to pay attention to. Let's see what happens. If there's one fucking thing I'm gonna say and I'm gonna say nothing, I don't win, I will make sure you lose.
Drita really needs to shut the fuck up, because this is a house of villains and you have to do what is best for your strategy and your gameplay. So Christine deciding to put up her roommate, I liked it. It made me salivate.
What were you going to say to Drita if she would have let you talk?
No, I wasn't going to talk to her in the car. I was never going to talk to her in the car. But I had been trying to talk to her, and I basically wanted to convey that I wanted to have a one-on-one conversation with her. I wasn't going to talk to her in the car, but I was like, if you're open to it, I would love to talk you through why I did what I did. And yeah.
Okay. So my next question was going to be, what would you want to say to Drita if she were here? But she is here. So we're going to bring her in right now. Are you ready for that?
Can I hit my vape really quick? But yes, I'm ready. Oh, God.
Drita, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you. And Christine and I have been talking, but my question for both of you is, since that finale, that explosive episode, have y'all had any conversations since then?
Yeah, at the hotel right after. She was really upset, still really upset, but I saw she was genuinely upset. I could feel it. When we left and then we went to the hotel to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I was like,
What did you talk about?
well, she was like, really upset still. Christina, she literally told me, she was like, Drita, it's bothering me. Like, it wasn't like a fake bothering. It was bothering her. I felt it. I saw it. I was like, it's fine. Like, I'm the type of person that I was hurt. I was more hurt than angry.
Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah.
acting angry, because I was
Yeah.
hurt. But I explode and then I get over things. If, I don't dwell and hold. So I think it's like easier for me to, and then I can understand too. Hello, it's a show. I get it.
Yeah.
And then watching it,
Yeah.
I was like, what, it makes sense what Paul was saying and everything. I wasn't even thinking like that. But when I watched it, I was like, oh, I get it. When
Yeah.
Paul came in the room and said that.
Everybody loves Drita, and everybody wants her to win.
You think so?
She was the only one who wasn't sabotaging that competition, and everybody was cheering for her. Everybody.
Yeah.
The best shot that we both have is probably against each other, because we both rubbed people the wrong way. But if Drita's there, she wins, dude.
So when Paul said that to you, and he was like, look, they didn't pick her when it was spinning and all these things, I didn't think about that. I just wasn't thinking about that. I was exhausted from the challenge before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you talked to her at the hotel. Immediate forgiveness? Are you guys like cool friends, acquaintances? What is
No,
your
so I
relationship
actually
status?
like after we filmed the show, like time had went by and I was still thinking about it and I was like, I just wanted to have a conversation with you, like not on camera, not, like just a genuine conversation. And I just wanted to let you know, like, that was so hard for me. And I want you to hear it from me. You know, you were my biggest competition and you were going to win anyway. There was no doubt about that. And I did the best that I could to be like, okay, let me see if there's a chance. It was hard. It was really hard. It was hard.
I wouldn't have wanted to been in that position. I mean, you were in a tough position.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm not used to playing these type of games either.
You are now.
Yeah. Oh my God, we got a crash course.
Are you
We got a crash course.
cool with Christine?
Yeah,
Totally
of
forgiven?
course. And then when she did message me, I was like, wow, she's still thinking about it and it still bothers her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's tortured, so now it's okay. You just needed her to feel
No.
bad for a little while.
Well, I was really, really hurt.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you know what? In my mind,
You were locked.
first of all, no, but roommates are just roommates. No, in our house, no roommates went against each other as much as drama there was going
Yeah,
down.
that's interesting. Yeah. None.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So, and I would never think, it was just not even a thought process. I wouldn't even talk about the game with her because I'm like, it's just, we know.
Right.
I guess that's how I just felt the whole time. So as hurt as
Yeah.
you were, I was crushed
Yeah.
because I was like, you know, I get it. But that's why in the room I said that. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I think everything would have been different if you were like, I can't keep you. You are my biggest competition. I would have been sad. I would have been hurt, but it would have been different.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been great TV. She gave you great TV.
I mean, you both did.
Yeah. I mean, and I was telling Tyson that it was a decision. Like Jackie had talked with me. She's like, you can't fucking do this, Christine. Like Drita's got to go. You can't do this. Paul had talked to me. You know, Kate, everyone was talking to me. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then the second before I'm walking into banishment ceremony, you know, it's just like the photos on the floor and everything. And I was just like, oh God. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
I get that.
Do you forgive her?
Of course.
Does $200,000 in your bank account make it way easier to forgive?
Yeah. Yeah, that is helpful.
I mean, the other thing too is she gave you more win equity because you won your way back into the game, which
I
I
have
think
to
made your
say-
stamp even harder.
yeah.
I was actually like, when I really thought about
I
it
knew you were gonna
on the
win.
plane, I was thinking, I'm glad it happened that way
Yeah.
because it wasn't given to me.
It was a
Yeah.
hero moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I felt better about it. So, because if she was just like, no, of course they're saying it, and then let's say that happened, and then I won, and then I probably would have felt bad and been like, well, she kept me in, she didn't have to keep me in, and then I would have felt like I owed you something.
Like half the money.
That would no, but some
Yeah, okay.
money,
Yeah,
maybe
a
not
Vespa,
half,
maybe.
but I just would have
something
felt
cool.
like that.
Yeah,
No, I would have definitely hit her off. I don't
Yeah.
think you're allowed to. I'm just kidding.
you're not.
No, I'm only kidding anyway. But I'm just saying that's how I would have felt.
You both made incredible reality TV and one hell of a finale. What would you say are each other's most iconic moments from the season?
I would say when she put me up. That's an iconic moment.
Yeah, I think the most villainous move of the season.
Yeah,
Right?
she's stun. You definitely gonna stun and shock everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, you stunned and shocked me.
I think when you won the challenge and you got all those questions right.
The award for fakest in the house goes to Christine.
Congratulations.
Drita has won the challenge.
You won against Paul. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
And that's not
that
easy.
is icon. I lost him against the trivia thing. Paul's really good at trivia.
Yeah, no, I
He's
know. He
insane.
makes believe he's not, but he is.
He's
good.
really good. He
Yeah,
is
he's
good.
smart.
Yeah.
Christine,
Yeah.
before you go, I have a little game where there are going to be some rapid fire questions for both of you.
Okay.
So give us honest answers. We can be honest now. If the game's over,
Okay.
we don't need to hide anything. I'll just read them. Who in the house would you most want to see on Selling Sunset? And who would be the best realtor and the worst realtor?
Drita would be the best.
The best realtor? She'd be flipping houses like cray?
The fuck are you doing? I said get this house finished in 2 weeks. Get your fucking ass over here and finish construction. In terms of outfits, plain Jane, hands
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Who in the house would make the best mob wife?
Oh, look how she dresses.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Hello. This is incredible.
Yeah.
What about the fur with the she's
That
like,
was my other option, but
you're
it was
a
too hot.
serious-
The Cruella de Vil
But that's what I'm
look, yeah.
saying.
Thank you.
Yes.
You beat me to the punch with the mob wife outfits.
Okay. Was that intimidating?
Very.
Christine, would you like to address the allegations against you from Drita as the messiest roommate of all time?
I cannot even pretend to I totally agree. She's absolutely right.
Not dirty.
Not dirty.
Messy.
Not
Messy, it's
dirty.
different.
Messy.
Yeah.
Big
Clothes
difference.
everywhere, shoes that don't match, fingernails on
Do
the
you know where
nightstand.
everything is or
in
no?
my head? Oh,
In your head?
absolutely.
Okay.
Like I know where
Amazing.
everything is. Oh, you need that tweezers under this pile of jeans
knows.
over here in the
Yeah.
corner of the
Yeah.
closet. Got it.
Perfect.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The messy Barbie, I call her.
So could you live as roommates with Christine
She would.
for 6 months for another $200,000?
Oh, 100%. But I would have to be in control of
You'd have to be able to organize?
organize.
I got better, right?
Oh, you definitely got
Yeah,
better.
I
She
did.
started to
But
really...
did you keep that habit or has that since
No, no,
dwindled?
No,
No,
she
I
actually was...
I learned a lot from Drita. I really did.
Yeah, and then organizing and stuff like that. Like, because I was like, Drita, don't be crazy. Don't be a crazy
No, it was
OCD
helpful.
person. Yeah, but I could do that if she was like, all right, Drita, you could just organize my stuff. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, and I kept it that way. I really did, and even she was like, "Oh, I need to clean the mirror." And I'm like, "You're right, there is streaks. That's like stuff you need to do, right?"
Yeah.
Like my maid doesn't come every week always,
Right.
I learned a lot from this bitch,
Yeah.
But
You clean your own mirrors?
I really did.
Me,
Like-
yes.
Okay.
I was bleaching the bathroom, the shower. We had the cleanest bathroom
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. No, we really did though.
We had the
Yeah, we
messiest bathroom.
What?
We had the messiest bathroom.
You
I-
guys
I-
killed me.
I saw your bathroom.
I
There
was
was
ashamed of the
Tom's
toilet.
products everywhere.
I was ashamed of the toilet, and it wasn't
Didn't see
mostly
that.
me. Last question from Johnny. He mailed these in. Christine, would you have dated Johnny this season if you were single?
Would I have dated Johnny this season if I was single? Not on camera.
Okay.
Not on
A secret
camera.
romance where in the smoking section behind the production tent.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny he loved you.
Well, there's another question from Johnny here for you. Drita, would you have dated Johnny if you were a little younger or he
Aw.
a little older?
Was he 22? It's crazy.
He's 26 or 27.
He's a baby.
That's how young he is?
He's 26, really?
I think 26 or
Yeah,
27.
no, that was funny when I was like talking so great about him, and they're like, "Would you let him date your daughter?"
And you're absolutely
I was
not.
like,
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
After I just read,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't because I know.
You know
just
what?
know
Kind of a player.
that he's a player.
yeah.
He
It's
can
just
change. He
play
can
ways.
change. You can
No,
fix
no,
him.
no,
You don't think you can
no.
fix
He's too,
him?
if he was like 35, that'd be different. 25, 20, too young.
I think he also knows that he is.
Yeah,
So
I
he's
agree.
just a player, but he's someone I could I would go to clubs with. I would hook
Yeah,
him up with,
totally.
with people, but I wouldn't date
But
him.
you wouldn't hook him up with your
Because-
daughter,
No.
but with other friends you didn't care about as much.
Yeah.
Friends that they don't care
Okay.
if he's a player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, when we come back, we'll get into the finale with Drita, a woman who once called everyone in the house fucking pussy ass shit motherfucking cunts. It'll be a delight. I can't wait. Christine, thank you. Much love.
That is awful. You guys are killing me.
Drita from Mob Wives, thank you so much for taking the time. I think you and I got off on the wrong foot pretty early in the season, so I was like, I don't know if Drita's going to come in and talk to me, but you're here, and we're cool.
I don't think we got to. That's not true. I'm going to tell you why you think that.
Okay.
You think that because I avoided you at all costs.
All the time.
That is a compliment, a big compliment. I have a very hard time being fake.
Yeah.
Very hard. It's just not.
So you didn't want to tell me the truth about myself?
No, I just found you to be, it's a compliment, meaning I found you to be truly smart and really like, I know they were like, oh, he won Survivor. And I was like, oh my God, this is like a joke to him then. And I found you to be smart. And I was like, I cannot be aligned with him because everyone and anyone will want to be aligned with him. And if I get close with you, I had to avoid you because I knew you were a nice person also, and I couldn't scum you over. So all of it's a compliment. And I wanted you out of that house.
Oh, I could feel that.
Yeah, and I couldn't, be like, oh, let's hang out. Oh, you're great. So all that wouldn't have worked for me. Me as a person. So I had to avoid you. And I was like, oh my God, he's trying to be nice to me. Don't be nice to me. Stay away from me because I just have a hard time being fake.
Okay.
I can't do it. I know it's a game. And I always separate. I say, even when we would like talk about everyone in the house, I'd always say, this is probably nothing like the outside the house, but this is a game and I get it.
Right. Okay.
So it's
that
a
makes
compliment.
me feel a little better.
I was like, this guy's winning. I thought as soon as I walked in, I was like, he's going to win.
Was it my pointy cheekbones or
No,
how
when you
tall I
pulled the
am?
lever,
Yeah.
that was a big deal because first of all, that's ballsy to do. Second of all, you were just smart enough to know to do that. Like when he said, and you're leaving the house, I was like, I believed him.
But I didn't. Did you see it? They don't show it in the edit.
No,
but he said, you're leaving the house. I said, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you knew.
And he was like, yes, you are.
I was like, man, he's good. And then I was thinking, how come no one keeps like, everyone's talking about getting rid of someone and no one was saying you. Then not only what did I think like you were such a threat, I was like, now everyone likes him so much. I mean, it's not like you're a jerk off. Like not likable. So it would have been easier if you were like Paul. I didn't know. I couldn't figure him out. But then he grew on me. I liked Paul. I was like, Paul's cool. He was hanging on. And nobody was like really like bonding with him. He was like lingering around.
Yeah.
And he made it so far.
Right.
Lingering around. So you have to be smart to do that. And I also noticed in his challenge how smart he was too. He was good. See, what I didn't understand is Jackie, right? When they voted Jackie, like Christina, I was like, why are they voting? I wouldn't have did that because I felt like Jackie would have been the one that wouldn't have cared if she stayed longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When everyone voted that way, I found that weird. I don't know. That when I started to really think about it and start, I was like, that's strange. Why would they do that and keep Christine and get rid of Jackie? That didn't make sense, even though I wanted Jackie to stay. But you know what I mean?
My measurement for that was who's going to be less angry when they come back in the house. Like, okay, I put 2 people on the hit list, 3 people on the hit list. Who's going to be the least upset about it because somebody's yelling at me? Just I want to minimize whoever's yelling at me.
I guess so.
So that was literally all it was like, what's going to be more peaceful in the house? And I didn't know because I don't know Jackie or Christina at that time. Enough about how cool I am, though, Dita. How did Mob Wives prepare you for House of Villains?
That life I lived feels like a lifetime ago. But that is a life that you actually like. People closest to you deceive you. Like when people don't realize, like my ex, whoever put him in jail was his closest friends. These are not enemies that put these people or go like they rat them out and stuff. It's their closest friends. So you have to like sniff out the bad person, right? And that's almost impossible when you trust people. Like when Christine chose me, I was like, this is just like crazy because this is the way it is. And I think that's why it's obviously hurtful because you care about the person or you like the person. But I think the whole street life prepares me on being able to be emotionally in tuned with people's personalities and figuring them out. Emotionally intelligent, I think that would be the word, because I'm not super smart in school, but I'm smart with judging character.
I'm going to tell you, most people on reality TV didn't get PhDs to become rocket scientists.
Believe it or not, I was actually really smart, but not in math.
Okay.
But
Yes.
meaning I could judge people pretty well.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at that. But she fooled me.
What are your weaknesses?
My heart, I'm such a softie. Like, even if I know someone did something wrong to me and they were like, people don't really know me. They probably think like, oh, because she fights or whatever. But the truth is, you could do something wrong to me, but if you're truly kind to me, I cannot be A, fake, B, be nice, be mean to someone when they're being nice. So the way to win me over is simple. Just be kind. Like my kids.
I tried that.
Well, that's why I ran. Do you get it? You did try, and I knew. And I was like, go away. Because I am too, that's how I am. So that's a big weakness, too. Because see how, like, Paul could sit there and be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter to a lot of people. Not with me. Then I would sit there. I would have, if I bonded with you, it would have been till the end. I would have, had your back and stuck up for you. So
I should have tried harder.
I know.
I think I could have gotten you. There was a moment or two where I was like,
know.
I think I'm starting to get her.
I was like, no. And everyone liked you in the house anyway. I just want to change.
Don't change too much.
Oh, that was funny. Very funny.
Was it?
You are like dad joke of the year.
I have kids.
Oh my God.
So you talk about fighting. If fighting were still allowed on reality TV in 2026, who are you punching first in the house?
Well, I retired. I no longer fight. You know this, right? Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
So
well, the fans need to know that.
Yeah.
I have retired. I no longer...
Reformed.
I am. I've grown, and I try to be mature, and it's not easy. It's a challenge.
So you wouldn't punch anybody even if it were allowed?
No, I wouldn't punch. Open hand smack, maybe.
Who?
Smacking is probably, because you don't go to jail for that. You don't really break bones. I decided that. When I stopped, like, fist fighting, decided slapping was a better technique.
Okay.
And then I just said, all of this is terrible, and violence is not the answer.
Wow.
I know.
You heard it here first, kids.
But I will curse you.
Yeah,
Bad.
you do curse a lot.
Because I can't hit you. So what am I going to do? That's the only other thing I can do is curse or cry. And crying that's another thing. You know, when people think people cry, they're like, oh, they're sad. No, if I cry, run. Because, what I really want to do, I can't. It's not legal.
Right. Okay. I'm getting it. I think I'm getting
get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, Dita, we're going to talk the finale episode. Let's talk gameplay. You were so loyal and you loved a lot of people in the house. Who in the house do you think had the best gameplay other than yourself, and who do you respect the most?
I would say Kate.
Kate?
She had the best gameplay.
Okay.
Because, gameplay, I don't know. I don't know if I would say gameplay. It's between you and Kate, but your gameplay was better, but Kate was, I don't know, she kept winning challenges. Would you say that's gameplay?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Okay, so then Kate.
Yeah.
Because Kate, everyone was trying to chop her down, and she just kept rising. She was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's something else. Kate is something else. In my opinion, I find that she was a massive threat. I just took a liking to her because of how forward she is. And I loved it that she was like, no holds bar. And she says how she feels. And I love and respect that.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, mid-game, I'm like, man, she's good. Like, she was winning everything. What did I win? How many bananas I can eat?
which was pretty impressive, actually. I haven't done that yet. I thought about doing it on the podcast, banana, like see if I could eat 10, because that was the other option for me instead of kissing New York was to beat you in the banana eating challenge. Could I have eaten more bananas?
California, man, their fruit is huge. I was like, what is this? In New York, it's half the size.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the difference between West Coast and East Coast.
I guess it's bigger and better in Cali, I'm assuming.
You said it.
No, do not.
There is a quote here from you along the lines of your feelings for Kate. Kate is gangster in her own way. I might be a fighter, but she don't give a fuck.
No, yes. See, like, again, there's a major soft side to me.
Yeah.
I know it probably doesn't make sense to people, but yes, I'm a fighter. If you hurt me, I take it to heart. But I am a softie. Kate is not a softie. She's like, to me, cold and calculated. Like, I call her gangster because I was like, if someone's going to run the mob, it would be Kate.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, you're like a mob boss. I wouldn't be the mob boss. I would feel too bad. Oh, you got to put a hit out on that person? Oh, but they have such a nice, family. And I start thinking like that. Kate, I could see her sitting there.
She's
and being
putting
like,
hits on people.
Get rid of them all.
Yeah.
So she's gangster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very bougie gangster.
Bougie gangster.
She's a bougie gangster.
New genre.
Bougie gangster bitch.
Okay. You win the final vote, and you have an incredible finale speech making a case for a different kind of villain. We have the clip. Let's watch it.
There are so many types of villains, and we got them all in this room. You got calculated, smart, undercover, and then you got me, the one that tries to hide the villain that pops out when jerk-offs appear. Not taking shit to me is a mad villain, right? Villains ain't scared of fucking nobody. Somebody did me dirty. I straight up shot that down. I call it how it is. I say some shit, I say it to your face. That's my villain side of me. I will call you out if you fuck with me, period.
That was actually pretty good.
Pretty good, right? I would say I'm watching that. I'm watching your win, and I'm watching season 1 and season 2. And I think the way you move through the game is going to set a precedent for future players of House of Villains. Because I think not winning supervillain as much as you can, whether it's by design or whatever, you have to draw no lines. And you're keeping people loyal because you were voting for the people that were actually leaving the house and staying loyal to them, which you do in a jury game. You have to make sure the people that exit are going to give you a vote in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose.
I
But
know.
you're right. And you know what? I do also feel, I mean, luck has a lot to do with it, but my handshake was like kind of like the kiss of death in a way, because every time I would promise someone, I will never vote you out, some odd reason they were on the chopping block. I was like, no. And it's funny, it worked out for me. But to be honest, when we were filming, I was like, oh, this can't be happening again. I just promised him I'd never vote against him. Now it's me against the house again. So, but you're right. That's a good way of looking at it. So you are smart. I'll give him that. I'll give him that he's smart.
I'll take it. You heard it here, but not first. A lot of people say that about me. Had you not won the final redemption challenge, let's say Paul wins, who are you voting to win in the end? Christine, Paul, or Kate?
Oh, I would have voted for Kate to win.
Okay, let's switch that with New York. Are you still voting Kate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Kate was your vote.
I would have wanted Kate to take that money, and I would have felt she deserved it because she really had a lot of people after her to get her out off the game, and she's a survivor and she's tough. I mean, that wasn't easy. I had her back, but there was a moment where really no one had her back. I won't say the kiss of death because I did give my loyalty to her and promise I would never, and she was making it happen. So it just so happened to, work out that way. But I remember with Plain Jane, I'm like, oh, don't worry, I will never want you out of the house. I shook her hand. she goes up there. I'm like, oh my God. The same thing with Johnny. Oh my God. Everyone, I'm like, let me stop saying this. I'm picking and to me, I was like, I'm picking the wrong people to give these promises to, and I have to keep my word. So anyone that's going into new season, I think loyalty is your best bet.
I come from Survivor, where that much loyalty to someone who is not on the right side of the majority is not in a good spot. Survivor, you would immediately been the target had you done that twice, because we would have been like, she's appeasing the jury. We have to get rid of her now. And so the fact that on this show, I think the egos are different. And the fact that a lot of these people hadn't played games before, they took it extra hard when they get voted out. And
You're
then
right.
they turn to the person they like the most that didn't turn on them. And that's
not how it works with like Survivor.
usually not. It's hard to be on the wrong side of the numbers too many times and get respect, because then either you don't know what's going on or you're willing to go against the mob.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This show is
So,
good.
Yeah.
This season is good. I'm sorry to everyone else in the past seasons, but you can't mess with this all-star cast. This is like the NBA all-stars.
This
When
is
you had everybody on there, Jordan, Pippen, we had the works.
the 1988
Yes! That's
USA basketball team.
Yes! Exactly. That's our crew.
Yeah. I agree. And that is Drita's unbiased opinion. Before we go, let's get into some awards, some villain superlatives. You won the title of Ultimate Supervillain, but we don't want to send our castmates home without trophies of their own. I'll name some awards, and you give them away.
Okay.
Are we ready? Most secretly a sweetheart.
I think Jackie.
I think she
was so sensitive.
I think she's a sweetheart. Like, I don't think
I
that's
think she's such a sweetheart
Yeah, I do too.
But that's not what she's known for. That's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Jackie's from Basketball Wives, where she was fighting and fighting, you know? So I think she's secretly a sweetheart.
Okay. Jackie gets the first award. Number 2 here, most fun to sit next to at a wedding. You have to take someone to a wedding. Everyone's on the table just for fun. Who you sitting next to?
I would say Ashley.
Ashley?
She would be a party girl now.
She's popping her top.
Oh, well, you did say wedding, so let's just scratch that, because I don't think wedding would be the appropriate venue.
Okay.
Okay. So the most fun at a wedding,
Yeah.
I would say you.
I could be pretty
You'd
fun.
be fun,
I'd
and
be
that's a
fun.
perfect place for you, because you classy. You want, be cursing like some people. They curse. It's just
Oh my
terrible
God,
the way
yeah.
they have terrible like.
I'll
mouths.
tell a dad joke. I'll tell a sex joke. Drita refuses to do either of those, but she will curse like a sailor.
I know. I make no sense.
Words I've never heard before that hurt my eardrums.
And
Drita
if
will
you
say.
a sex joke, I am out of the room.
Yeah, you say a sex
red,
joke,
embarrassed.
and Drita is just like, "Ugh," you can see the pain in her heart. And it can be the tamest thing. It's so,
dying
it's
laughing.
crazy. Like, if I just said genitals right now, it would make
like that.
it would make her uncomfortable.
It makes me so
But if you're like,
uncomfortable.
fucking pussy ass motherfucking cunts, look at, she's totally fine. Totally fine. We brought her back. We said
dying.
genitals. She got uncomfortable. We said fucking pussy ass
I don't
cunts. She's fine.
Okay, stop it. I'm dying laughing.
Best person to call if you need something evil done.
Oh, I would say New York.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She'd bury a body for you?
Yeah.
She'd
I think
eat
she
a
would bury
baby?
the body.
You think
and
she'd
she
eat a
would
baby?
never rat anyone out, and she would take it to the grave. That's a compliment.
Okay. I think so too, actually.
I think she would be like, all right.
My connection with her, it was just like, don't tell anybody. She's like, I'm not telling anybody anything.
She ain't
And it was
telling
like,
nobody
yeah.
nothing. She's perfect
Yes,
for that.
she really actually is. And I wouldn't have thought to choose her, but like that makes perfect sense. Most likely to survive the apocalypse.
Kate.
Nope. Me.
No. Kate.
My ego says me. I just feel like I would be the last person on earth for some reason, either dumb luck or survival skills. So you can say Kate, and I'll let you have it.
Yeah, you're up there. I'll give that to you. I'll give you that award.
You know I was on Survivor 4 times, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it is you.
You saw me
4
eat,
times.
You saw me eat the bugs and stuff, right?
When you did that, I was like, how are these people not getting rid of him? I was like, wow. I was impressed. I have to tell you, I was impressed. You eating them like popcorn.
Yeah.
That was amazing to me.
But we'll give it to Kate. Kate can survive there can be 2 of us surviving the apocalypse. That one's...
You would be the last to Adam and Eve, you think?
Yeah, we'll give... I don't know if I want to be in charge of repopulating the earth. I think that's a lot of pressure.
I don't think she would either.
Yeah. Best bullshitter.
Oh, I would probably say Paul.
Yeah.
Paul is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He could bullshit his way through anything.
I was on to him.
He's incredible.
I knew that, but he was also on to me.
Tom was also.
We were on to him, but I could feel he was on to me too. So it was like, I know that you know that I know that you know that I know.
I feel like Paul played like he was stupid, but he was not.
No, he totally did.
He played it like, oh, I can't think of things.
Yeah.
And, oh, I can't.
Oh, let me get back to you. I'll figure it. Give me a day. He did that all the time. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm coming to you with a perfectly logical option. And if you don't have an answer for me right now, then that's a red flag.
Yeah.
The most extra over the top.
With Christine, with those outfits. There's
Yeah.
nothing more than that. Plain Jane, too.
Yeah. They both had the outfits.
Plain Jane wins, though. Definitely wins, now that I think about the outfits that were... How about the red, white, and blue?
Yeah. The Russian. I think it was a
Yeah,
Russian.
everyone thought it was American.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, well, what a patriot.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Evil
no.
Knievel? That's what I thought. I thought Evil Knievel.
Yes. That's hilarious.
Okay. For this final award, I'm actually going to award it to you. The realest of real. You always kept it real with everybody. You always did what you said you were going to do. And not a lot of people get awards from me, so this is extra special for you.
Thank you.
Drita,
I appreciate it.
thank you so much for taking time. Huge, huge, huge congratulations.
Thanks.
200K richer. I wish you all the best in the future. And that's it. I love you.
Love you back. Oh, you got it.
You wouldn't say it on the show.
I would never say it on the show, but I said it now.
Yeah, that makes me feel good. That's our show. Thank you so much for watching. You can rewatch this incredible season of House of Villains on Peacock and check out every episode of the official House of Villains podcast on Peacock and YouTube, or listen wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social at Peacock, and remember, make a move if you have to, and get vengeance if you need to. Be the supervillain you want to see in the world. Bye.